Hello fellow simmers, it's Samuel Beeman of BLS here and welcome back to another OpenRails video. Today I've got something very special to show you. This is the Making Tracks Great Eastern 2 route, which is very rare to get hold of now, and it's just fantastic to actually have it and own it. So basically this route is an extension to the original Great Eastern route by Making Tracks. It extends the route a few miles. It goes all the way to Norwich now, so you can actually do a full run from London Liverpool Street to Norwich. So it's including the branch and local lines described, Stratford, Norwich, Crown Point depots, and it contains a new set of locomotives and rolling stock, plus custom cabs and sounds. Basically, it's an interesting one to say the least. I must say I wasn't 100% happy with it purely because of the fact that it updates the original. So it changes the eras from the 1990s Network South East to the early 2000s Anglia era with the Anglia blue, branding and blue like colour scheme on the station signs and lamps. Which is quite annoying because if you want to do an NSE era scenario on this, it looks completely wrong because obviously it's completely out of era. It would have been nice to have this as a separate route, which I think that they should have gone about doing instead of making it like replacing the original. It's not really a expansion as such. It's more like a change of eras. But yeah, so that's a bit disappointing. Also, the range of scenarios are very limited. You don't really get much scenarios with Great Eastern 2. A lot of them are very, very long. And, right now I just don't have the time to sit there for an hour and a half doing a run from London to Norwich. So, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today, which is using a Class 08 shunter and doing a little bit of a shunting duties at Crown Point at Norwich. So this afternoon, you're in charge of a Class 08 shunter at Crown Point Depot, tasked with sorting out a few a few rakes of carriages. Your first job is to take the Anglia DBSO from Crown Point 2 to Crown Point 15 for inspection and minor repairs. The route will automatically be set, so you only need to follow the reverse points on the track monitor F4 to the rake of coaches, uncouple the DBSO, move to the rest of the coaches to Crown Point 3 before returning for the DBSO. There is a blanket speed limit of 15 mile an hour on the yard. Okay, well that's fairly straightforward, I suppose. We'll see how we get on. So let's unpause the game. This 08 is incredibly noisy. Like, it's probably the most noisy thing in the entire game. But here we have it. This is the 08. It's in Anglia livery. It is quite a nice model, to be honest. It is really not that bad. As I said in previous videos of Making Tracks content, they're undoubtedly one of the best MSTS developers for their time. So this is 08810 in Anglia livery. We've got 86221 next to us, which looks very nice. Plus a rake of one stock on the left-hand side. I'm just going to lower the volume on this 08 because it is incredibly noisy and I need to hear myself think. There we go. So that is a little bit better, I suppose. Anyhow, let's put ourselves into forward gear. Release our brake. Get our track monitor system. Do we need our timetable? No, not really. We just need the track monitor system. Okay, so let's put ourselves in forward, initialise the brake, quick toot on the horn. Very accurate to an 08. Off we go. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, so this is Norwich Crown Point Depot, which is obviously one of the new additions to the route. And it looks very nice. To be honest, not much has changed around Crown Point during nowadays. You can see the iconic building structure over there. Very nice. Although this strange sort of deserty sand texture is a bit strange, mind. Makes it look a little bit odd. But I suppose it depends on the time period when they modelled it. It could have been like summer, where it was like really sunny and it burnt all the grass or some, you know. Okay, so we've got a turnaround point in 140 yards. Take it we're just going to go just past this point. If there's anywhere here. Oh look! Past 156, just passed by, and it's lovely Anglia colours. Yes, we'll go just past this point and we'll stop here and then reverse. Just so we clear the points. There we are. So one thing we do need to do is put our shunting lights on, which I forgot to do. There we go. No, it doesn't seem to... Okay. Anyway, let's have a little look around the cab. So yeah, the cab's not too bad. It's I think it's CGI. It's not really photo textured, this one. It's sort of CGI made, but it's done very, very well actually. So yeah, so hats off to them for this. Right, so let's put ourselves into reverse, get ourselves underway. So our points should now be set to our next scheduled location. Permission granted, back onto the stop. Yeah, the sounds, honestly, it does sound like an 08. They're not that bad. Done a good job on that. So it looks like we're connecting to these Anglia stock here. This thing drives really, really nicely actually. I'll give them credit for the physics. Look at the detail on the track as well, that's very good for MSTS. Right, we're coupled. What do you say?
Permission denied.
Permission denied. Okay, so we can't go beyond the red signal. Boy, this thing's so loud. That's the only thing I will say about the 08 is the sounds are so loud. Shall I tell you what I will do, because this is looking really quite nice. I'm going to take a photograph of this for the thumbnail. Because yeah, look at that. Oh. That makes a good screenshot. So let's have a little look at our stock. So we've got some Anglia Mark IIs and a DBSO on the rear. Look at that. My lords, that's a very, very nice model. Do we have a passenger view on this? No. That's unfortunate. Maybe it needs to be a passenger consist. Okay, so we need to be careful with the signal up ahead. Oh no, I've done that wrong. Oh, I've done it wrong. I was supposed to uncouple the DBSO. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so I've done that wrong. It's a shame it doesn't have a task list to tell you exactly, you know, what you're supposed to do. Okay, so let's reverse the DBSO back again, because I've done this completely wrong. Don't mind me, guys, we're just shunting around casually. I know exactly what I'm doing. This never happened. This never happened. I'll drop it off in near enough the same place as I did before. Yeah, you need to make sure you do this correctly, otherwise you have issues when trying to reverse, because your consist could be too long. Right, let's try this again. So where's the uncoupling? It's F7? No. F9, okay. Right. To remove the rear coach. There we go. So that should have removed the DBSO now. And we can get moving again. There we go, we've removed the DBSO, excellent, so we're doing it properly now. So that little mishap didn't happen. Just give it some beans. Whoa. Full handle on EO8. There we go. Well, we are overspeeding slightly, I'm just going to have to brake. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think to this marvellous looking route. It really is fantastic. I will cover the route in its entirety in a different video. It's just, to be honest, at the moment, as it's Easter, I don't really have much time to commit to making an OpenRails video, like not a very long one anyway. So we'll get to it at some stage. I just thought, you know, let's do something a little bit different. Let's do some shunting. I don't really tend to do any shunting videos on the British Locomotive Studios channel, so this is a first. That signal is bugging me. I think we're okay though. Doesn't say we spatted or nothing. I think we're in the yard permits. We're away from the main line, so that's a good sign. But yeah, look at the detail line side as well, all the bushes and scenery as well. They've done a really good job. I say you've got to give credit for making tracks. Okay, so we're in the shunt permits now, so we can slow down and get ready to reverse. Like so. Here we are. Off we go. So usually in real life circumstances you would have a shunter right now, either a guard or someone hanging out of the coaches sort of directing us into the siding, or someone line side directing us. Yeah, I need to make sure I keep looking at the briefing just to follow the instructions. So take note guys, if you do any shunting scenarios within OpenRails, make sure you read that briefing. You need to check this. It's the most important thing you have. It's basically like having a piece of paper inside your cab and looking at your instructions of what you need to do. Three, two, one over there, my lords. Very nice. There is a nice scenario from Clacton, I believe, using the 321. We have to check that out at some stage. Okay, so yes, we're going into the lane next to the DVT, aren't we? And we seem to be going into the same lane as the DVT. Oh wait, no, we're going into the one next to it. My bad. Yeah. Oh yes, and then we collect the DVT. Fair. So we're going to be storing these coaches into this siding here, next to the... Actually, did I call that DBSO DVT? It's DBSO. What am I on about? Once you trigger the reverse point, stop the train and uncouple the coaches. Draw forward to Wensum Junction, back up and collect the DBSO from Crown Point. Why couldn't there have been a pop-up when I got into the siding where the DBSO is to say to uncouple it? I mean, come on. If you can put the effort in to pop up now, why couldn't you have done that earlier? So then I wouldn't have made the mistake. Brilliant. Oh, nice! Look, there's a 56 over there. My lord, an EWS livery. Whoa. Probably start slowing up now because we are getting to the shunt point. Okay, we're in the limits. There we go. Right, so this is where we're going to uncouple from our coaching stock. So we shall put ourselves into neutral. Dump the brakes. Get our coupling up, which we have already got. So let's do that. Excellent. Release the brake. And initialise the brake. Put ourselves into forward. And get ourselves underway. And hopefully, yep, our coaches are uncoupled. That's excellent news. Now we're going to be using the loco brake as we are now light engine. I do love the Anglia blue colour scheme. I think a majority of people really do like this livery. It is a lovely looking livery. It's a shame it was such short-lived, really. Didn't really last that long. Oh, way up. It's a 156 in one livery. Look at that. It's nice to see some AI traffic going alongside us while we shunt. Makes this activity more interesting. Yeah, so basically just going to go past the point again, and then we're going to reverse. It's quite entertaining, this. Don't usually do shunting scenarios, and I'm quite enjoying it, so maybe I should do this more often. Right, so now we must reverse. Oh yes, because we've got to go and collect the DBSO now, so that's what we're going to do. Off we go. So we're in the yard as well, which is nice, so we don't really have many signals to take notice of. So we've got a spacebar whistle. Do we have a B key whistle? No. So it's just that long spacebar whistle. This DVT, that's a very nice model as well. As I say, the modelling that Making Tracks do are really, really good for their time, you know. Definitely some of the better models out there for Microsoft Train Sim. Okay, so we're now coming up to the DBSO. Sure hope it's registered. Should be in near enough the right place. There we go. Excellent. This thing's brilliant. It really does drive gorgeous. It's a lovely thing. Really, really enjoying this. Fantastic. Really glad I picked this scenario. Something a little bit different. I'm enjoying it. Okay. I can see why my mate James enjoys this. Ooh! Hellfire! Is that a 57? My lords, on Anglia Mark 1 coaches. Is that a 57? It is. 57007. Oh, I like that. Right. So I can see we're now coupled to our coach and stop. Well, the DBSO. So we'll release our brake now. Off we go. Just make sure that we are moving. Excellent. I do like how at the beginning of the activity though it says we're limited to 15 mile an hour, you know, in the yard, 15 miles per hour. But you can clearly see that the limit is 9. So, you know, doesn't really make sense. Go to the rear of the DBSO to make sure that we are clear of the point. Okay, we're not technically stopping here, so we need to continue. This looks nice on this though, an 08 on the DBSO. Something that could happen on a heritage railway or in a museum or something. Oh, we're going up to this line now. Okay, so now we're in the shunter's permits. So stop once we're fully clear of the points, like that, just in case another service passes by us. Off we go. Yeah, the scenery on this isn't too bad, it really isn't. We'll get to have a little look round Crown Point in a sec, because we're actually probably, I'd imagine we're going into the workshop, so we'll actually get to see it like properly. I'm surprised there's not many shunt signals around this yard. I would have thought there would be more shunt signals. It's one thing I would say about it. Especially on an intense depot like Crown Point, you know? Okay, so it looks like we're going into the shed road next to the 321 unit, which is in that Great Eastern livery, which is quite an interesting livery, but not many people really liked it. So it's quite underrated in that sense, really. Okay, so we're going to be placing this into the workshop, and then I think that ends our scenario, ends our activity. I could be wrong though, we might have to put the 08 to bed. Look at this. That's very nice. Imagine if the doors just shut behind us, that would be really cool. So how far into the workshop do we have to take this? Okay, we can stop it here. Fair enough. There we are. Okay, so I imagine that we uncouple from the DBSO now, so let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, so first step is taking it from ground point for inspection manifest. Okay, so we've got to uncouple from the DBSO and we've got to go and collect some more coaches. So let's just have a little look round Crown Point. Yeah, it's looking really nice. Oh look, it's a 170 there, my lords. I'll keep saying my lords, I need to get out that habit. 86. Yeah, not too bad. Front looks a bit off, I suppose, but you know. Oh, class 90. Very nicely done. Another 321 in the Great Eastern livery. Nicely applied to the model. But yeah, this is Norwich Crown Point, which is very, very nice. Norwich is over there, but we're not going to look at Norwich. We'll do all that in another video. But yeah, but just look at the detail they put into this. You know, bear in mind that you can only go like so far in MSTS, like flying wise. You couldn't like fly around and stuff. They've actually put a lot of work into, you know, into the route, and you know, fair play to them for that. Right. So let's get underway, collect the coaches. Just make sure we ain't bringing the DBSO with us, because, you know. Yeah, I'll keep the train operations, the coupling system up, because, you know, just to make sure that we are coupled to our coaching stock. So if anyone is wondering about the game I'm playing, obviously OpenRails, if you're new to watching my OpenRails videos on British Locomotive Studios, the OpenRails game is essentially a revamped, re-release, remastered edition of Microsoft Train Simulator. It uses content from the old game. Some of it works better than others, like some of it can be a little bit buggy here and there, but the game certainly has big potential for what it is. There is a few bugs with it, but one of the really interesting factors about OpenRails is the fact it has multiplayer, so you can actually play this with your friends. It doesn't work 100%, it's not the best. I would like to show it one day, to be honest. But obviously that will depend on if I can get Dan or someone else from BLS to do the multiplayer session with me. If you are interested in getting OpenRails, I will link the game into the description of the video, so you can go and check it out and buy it. well, technically it's free actually. You don't have to buy it. So, yeah, it's a freebie. I've got permission granted on the shunt signal. I just needed to tab the shunt. Need to make sure that I, saw that. So it's a good thing I did. But yeah, so yeah, by all means, go ahead and check it out. It's a very interesting game. There is some demo models, so if you don't have any MSTS content or anything like that, then there is stuff for free that you could play on OpenRails that is freeware. But any old MSTS add-ons like this one, for example, if you even come across it, you will have to pay for it. So yeah, so even though the OpenRails game is free, some of the content isn't necessarily free. So okay, so we're going down here now. I wonder if we have to collect the stock that the 57 brought in. That might be what we have to go and collect. So this is where we're going to have to watch out for signals. So we've got the shunt, so we should be all okay because I tabbed the signal.
Permission granted.
Yep. Just double checking. Even though there is actually no... Oh yeah. So it is saying that I would need to tab to pass the signal to get, gain entry into Norwich, which is fair enough, which is basically what I did earlier, so earlier than I should have done, but there we go. So we're actually going into Norwich Station now, guys. Okay, so this is going to get interesting. Oh, did the phone just go off? That 56 over the other side. Oh yeah, look at that. 56114. Looks like it's an old 56. 56. Looks like it's an old 56 that's not running anymore. So this is going to be interesting. I'm still only permitted to 9 miles an hour. Gotta love the rods of the 08 going round. Very cool. Oh yeah, look at this, coming into Norwich Station. Looks like we're picking up that DBT. Should double check this. Okay, it doesn't really tell us what we're doing next, so that's good of it. I'd imagine we're coupling to this DBSO brake. Probably taking that to Crown Point. There we go. Uncouple the Class 47 and draw the whole rake back to Winsome Junction head shunt. From there, propel it into crown point 2, then take the DBT to crown point 15 in front of the DBSO you left there earlier. Upon completion, head to crown point 9 to finish the activity. Excellent. Okay, so there's obviously, oh, look at that, 47714 on the rear. Now that is a proper 47. Hellfire. Very, very, very nice. So let's have a little look round Norwich, shall we, while we're here. So this is Norwich Station. As you can see, it's got the Anglia blue colour scheme around the station. On the and we've also got the ex-NSE platform numbers as well, which are faded and worn out, which just kind of adds to the detail. But yeah, Norwich Station does look very, very nice. It hasn't really changed as well, you know, in modern day. Like, it does look pretty much like this. Only difference is there is actually more shops inside the canopy here. It's obviously evidently back here there wasn't any. But yeah, look at the model. The model is very, very nice. They've done a really good job of this. The overall area of Norwich is looking very, very smart as well. And just, you know, when you zoom out as well, just look at this. Like, considering you never used to be able to fly over here in MSTS days, it's not that bad. You know, they've got the detail here. The car park isn't the best, but well, the 47 just horned to me. It wants me to get out of the way, so we're going to have to get out of the way for it. But yeah, but just look at the detail on the station. It's very, very nice. They've done a good job of that. So yeah, so I need to uncouple the 47 because it's horned to me to hurry up. So we need to uncouple that. I assume that we've uncoupled from 47. That we have. Okay then. Let's release our brake and get ourselves underway to Crown Point so the 47 can get out of the way. Because we are probably running late than what we should have done. Yep, we're all good. 47 is now free. You can hear the air sounds of the coaches, the noise, the squeaky air, or whatever thing it is. Let me know in the comments, guys, what it is. But yeah, so what's my overall thoughts of Great Eastern 2 by making tracks? So the route, the detail of the route is absolutely fantastic, as to be expected by making tracks. The only thing that does kind of let it down is sort of the limited activities that you get with the route, because there's not actually that many for Great Eastern 2. And also, it really is annoying the fact that this overwrites the original Network Southeast Great Eastern. Because it would have been nice if there was like two separate routes instead of it just being one whole package, and or at least have it as switchable eras so you can have either NSE or Anglia era. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say about it, which is really annoying. Now I've just noticed there is a tree in the way though of the track there, which is going to be a bit of an issue for those travelling up to Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft. So yeah, the engineers need to get on that and start cutting back those trees. So that is the Wherry lines on the left hand side. Unfortunately, I don't think Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft is actually modelled in this add-on, which is a shame. I believe that line just leads to nowhere, so it is a shame. But then This extension is purely Ipswich to Norwich mainly, because the original route used to go to London to Ipswich, so the extension being down to Norwich really. Wonder how far up the track we have to go now with this. Seems to be a glitchy yellow aspect there for some reason on that signal. Might be a bit of a signal malfunction there, the engineers need to get on it. Looks like the engineers have got some work to do along here. Need to make sure the rear of our coach is clear of the points. Okay, we've now reached the limit of shunt, excellent. We can now slow down and propel our stock back into Crown Point. Yep, we are well clear. Okay, so let's reverse into Crown Point now. Be on the move now. We are indeed. Can't really see the train behind us, so this is sort of the view that you would get, and you'd have a guard or a groundman telling us where to go. Yeah, look, you really can't see a lot, can you? Oh, look, you can actually see more this side than that side. But likely that will change as we get more into Crown Point, because we're going to curve round into the depot. Yeah, as we can see, we're starting to see the coaches sort of snake around the crossover. So we're literally blinded at this point. Must be very challenging, like a very challenging job, like for shunters in real life. You have to rely heavily on groundsmen or guards. Or, to be fair, they'll probably have walkie-talkies these days, right, telling us what to do. Like, for example, at the Spa Valley Railway, there was a guy on the platform with a reversing train into Tunbridge Wells, and he would keep saying, all clear, keep setting back, all clear, keep setting back, until he got to the point where he needed to stop, where he will then speak to the driver and obviously tell him where to stop. So you have to rely heavily on other staff members to guide you into the locations. Okay, yeah, so this is going into the same road as where the DBSO and coaching stock was at the start of the activity. There we are. So now, I believe this is where we uncouple from the coaching stop, and we'll collect our DBSO. Yep, off we go. Yep, got to get our DBSO now. We are in the shunting limits. We've reached the limit of shunt, so we can slow up. Put ourselves into neutral. Get our brakes released for us to head back towards Crown Point to collect the DBSO from the workshop. That was a quick inspection. Alright, off we go. a very fun activity, this. It's really, really good. There's plenty to do. Very busy shunt manoeuvre, which is what we like. Now the question is, does this model have working window screen wipers? Because I know that some models within MSTS don't actually have working animated window screen wipers for like rain and stuff. So let's check. Oh, it does. Excellent. I'm sure a majority of the Making Tracks models have this feature. But yeah, one of the things I used to love as a kid as well is the 3D grills. You know, how they've done that sort of 3D grill effect is fantastic. And the rods as well, got all the rivets under there. So the detail for it in its time is just absolutely fantastic. It's a really, really nice model. It's definitely up there as one of the best models of 08 for MSTS OpenRails. Just whistling to make sure that the workers are aware of my presence. Fortunately, there is actually nobody in here. Would have been nice to have some more clutter inside here, I must admit. It's very bland, but hey ho. I suppose back then they didn't really care much about that. There we go. Right, so now that we've connected to our DBSO, it's now time to take this back to one of the sidings. So we're now going to depart Crown Point and head back. Oh, look, there is a bit of an interior there from the outside. Not too bad. Yeah, right, so off we go. Whistle to tell that we're moving off. Would help if the brake was released properly, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, we've reached the limit of shunt, so there we go. All good to set back. Excellent.
Permission denied.
Permission denied, but I don't think we're looking out for any signals, so we'll see. We'll head to DBSO to make sure we can see where we're going. Yeah, so the signal is in 150 yards. So we just need to take care and make sure we look out for signals. And obviously currently we have permission denied, but I don't think there is any signals around this area, so we should be okay. Bit of an uphill gradient here as well. Okay, so we're going around here. And we should reach the end of our activity once we've dropped off the DBSO. So it looks like we're going to be stopping next to the 86 again. Pull up next to the Anglia 86 to finish the activity. Yeah, I thought so. Or maybe we need to go a little bit further. The finishing point isn't there. Okay. It's not technically next to the 86 then, is it? If the finishing point isn't there. So we've got to be just up against this buffer then. How much further do I need to go? I can't really go much further, we're running out of track. Okay guys, so evidently it's kind of broken and we can't finish the scenario. I'll probably have to do a glitch where I have to go through the buffers to make it finish. So I'm not going to do that because that's pretty unrealistic. But I might do that obviously as we reach the end of the, obviously after I've finished filming. But yeah guys, so I've personally really enjoyed doing this. This was a fantastic activity. I'm really glad I did something a little bit different this time for a video. Let me know in the comments guys if you really enjoyed watching this, if you want me to do any more shunting puzzles for OpenRails videos. So yeah, so this was the Making Tracks Great Eastern 2, shunting around Crown Point Depot at Norwich in the Class 08. And yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Samuel Beeman of BLS, and I'll see you in the next OpenRails video. Goodbye for now, and happy Easter.